Hi guys, hope that you're all well, hope that you're enjoying your table tennis. I certainly am at the moment. It's been a busy few months really. I've had quite a few tournaments, quite a few league matches, got to a few finals in Bolton, which was very exciting, played against Pavel Ozanowski, and he's a top player. He's in the top, very nearly in the top 100 in the country. So I think you can imagine how that went, but I think I gave a good account of myself, so that was quite nice, a nice indication of how my game's developed. It's been really nice as well to receive feedback from everybody who's been watching. Like I said, I really do appreciate that. I'll always read all the comments that I get. I always take on board the advice as best as I can, and it's been really nice as well to hear people saying that they can actually see a difference in my game from 6 months ago to now. So yeah, so really happy with everything. Everything seems to be on track for getting better, which is great. This is kind of what this video is about actually. So obviously I'm always looking to try and improve, and I've decided to set myself a little bit of a challenge, because I've read quite a lot and I've seen quite a few videos about shadow play. And it's something that I've done occasionally in the past, and I've often thought to myself, I kind of wonder what it would be like if I actually did this regularly rather than just doing it once in a blue moon. So I actually thought that by setting myself a little bit of a challenge, it would make me stick to it, and I thought it would be really interesting just to see if it does help, if it does make any difference, and yeah, just to see if it's something that, if it helps me, then, it might help you guys, and it might be something that you can incorporate into your training. So the challenge is, I'm going to do some shadow play every day for 20 minutes, and I'm going to do that for a month, and then I'm going to do like a bit of a review at the end of it just to see if it has helped me. So shadow play, I don't know if this is something that you may have heard of before or not. It's like a technique for practicing without using the ball. So it's really popular in China, and I know that it forms quite an integral part of the Chinese practice regime. It's obviously used throughout the rest of the world as well, but I think China, it's really important to them, the way that they train. So basically what it kind of does is it removes the distraction of the ball when you're trying to like focus on your technique to improve the technique. I think really what can happen sometimes is that if you're trying to focus on a specific motion, having the ball coming towards you and having to hit the ball can take away your focus from actually playing the shot correctly. So just for example, if you were looking to hit a forehand and you were trying to use your arm a little bit less and use your body more, so kind of more of this sort of a motion. Now obviously I can do that quite easily when the ball is not there, and I can do it correctly when the ball is not there. But as soon as the ball comes towards me, my instinct is to try and hit it. So I might be trying really hard to do the technique correctly, but as soon as the ball comes towards me, I might naturally want to roll my wrist, or I might want to use my arm a little bit. So I think it's a way of training to get the positions, to get the muscle memory, to get the correct feeling for playing the shot. And then this is part of why I want to try and do this over a period of a month every day, is that it's to try and reinforce and build that feeling in, so that feeling becomes more instinctive than something I'm having to think about. So for example, for me, and I'm obviously going to detail this a little bit in a minute, but for me there are certain shots like the backhand flick and certainly forehand flick that I've started to train, and I can do it quite well in training, but then when I go into a match, I'm finding at the moment the technique's going out of the window a little bit. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's terrible. So this is going to be a really important part of my shadow training, is my flicking, and I want to be able to get it so that I instinctively will come in and I'll do the shot correctly. So I think it's going to be a really sort of like interesting challenge experiments. Like I say, I'm going to try and do it. I'm really going to be strict about this, so I'm going to do it every day. I've already started doing it actually, so this is going to be my 4th day of doing it. It's surprisingly hard work actually. It's quite a good physical workout. So, but you know, I've been enjoying it so far. But I'm going to be as strict as I can, that I'm going to do it every day, regardless of whether I've got a match, whether I've got a training session, whether I've got a practice session. I'm not going to have it where like, oh well, I'm playing tonight, so I'm not going to bother doing it today. I'm going to do it every day. Like I said, I'm going to detail what I'm going to do in those 20 minutes, and then hopefully that consistency of carrying it and seeing it through every single day will then, at the end of the month, I'll start to see some benefits. I mean, what I'm sort of thinking is perhaps longer term, that I don't think it's realistic to be able to kind of do it every single day from here on, but it might be something that I maybe incorporate and do 2-3 times a week. So it's going to be really interesting, and should be some good, you know, give you guys some good ideas as well. It might be something that you can incorporate into your training. What I might do as well is I might do this as like a little bit of a series of like challenges or experiments. So I'm going to do shadow play for a month, for the next month. But then I might try and have a focus on where I try serving practice every day, or I might try to work on my backhand every day, because that's certainly something that I want to try and improve. So it'll be interesting to see how we go with it. So so I'll feedback probably halfway through the challenge, just to see how I'm finding it, if it's getting, or if there's like anything that I need to tweak, anything that I need to change. Obviously things that I'm learning myself as I'm going along, and then I'll do a review at the end of it. And we'll, I think it should be quite exciting actually. I'm looking forward to seeing, hopefully, some good improvement.
Okay, so these are the different exercises that I'm going to complete. First one is forehand open up against the backspin ball, followed by forehand drive against topspin. This is quite a common scenario that you will see in a rally, where you'll open up a backspin push, and then you'll then need to drive the next few balls because it will turn into a topspin rally. I think it's particularly important for me because I definitely have a tendency to drop my bats after the initial open up, and I'll continue to lift the ball, so I end up lifting it off the end of the table. The emphasis here is keeping the bat nice and high after the open up to play the subsequent topspin forehands. This second exercise is very similar to the first exercise, but using the backhand. So it's going to be a backhand open up against backspin, followed by backhand drives against topspin ball. What I'm really trying to work on here is dropping the bat nice and low, dropping my legs nice and low as well, and then raising up, but staying in my posture. So not leaning back, almost keeping the weight going forward as I come up. Then once I've done the initial open up, keeping my bat nice and high and driving through. And you can see here as well that I'm really trying to snap through. Every single shot is trying to have a little pause and then snap of acceleration, which I think I definitely lack at times with my backhand. This next one is a nice simple transition between forehand and backhand. As I mentioned before, I'm trying to keep the bat high, but I'm really focusing on my footwork, trying to stay on my toes, trying to just make sure that it's nice and crisp, nice and light, and there's that little jump in between each shot, which you see a lot of the top professionals do. Just allows you to get in position a little bit quicker for the next shot. This exercise is practicing a pendulum backspin serve, followed by forehand pivots. Emphasis here is good footwork, so serving into the ready position and then an immediate pivot, followed by a recovery stroke. Again, it's a slight tendency of mine to pivot. Often I don't pivot as well as this, but then I also won't recover. So this is really trying to put an emphasis on not only getting in position for the pivot, but also getting in position for the recovery shot as well. So So this is an exercise that I've been meaning to do for a while now. It's using one of my favourite serves, which is a long fast serve into a right-handed backhand. It will generally get a fast cross-court return into the backhand side. So I'm trying to get ready for a backhand receive. I have a tendency to want to try and take this on my forehand, and I'm not quite ready for it. It catches me out. So this is really putting an emphasis on serving and then being ready immediately to then hit a backhand return. So this is a shot that I'm going to place a lot of emphasis on over the next few months, forehand flick. Trying to make sure that I step in nicely with my lead leg and that I keep my head nice and low. That also does a slight pause and then hit. Definitely have a tendency with this shot to almost do it all in one motion. So step in, get in position and then play the shot as well. This is one of my favourite shots, backhand flick. I think it's something that I'm fairly good at the moment, but there's always room for improvement. So again, trying to make sure that I'm stepping in, getting in position and then playing the shot rather than moving and playing the shot at the same time. Also just trying to do a little bit here, as you can see on the follow-up shot as well. So trying to step in, play the flick, step back out again quickly, keep my bat up and then be ready to play the next shot. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed the video. I'll report back in a month's time and I'll let you know my progress. I've got a couple of tournaments coming up as well in Bangor and Nottingham, so it's going to be interesting to see if this will help me. Of course, I'll feedback on that and all the videos will be uploaded. Please like this video and also subscribe to the channel. It would really help support me and hopefully help the channel to keep growing. Okay, I'll speak to you all soon. Cheers, guys.